bottom of all this madness now with a medical expert. Dr. Fahmi Farah. Farah is an invasive cardiologist and the CEO of Bentley Heart. She's also the director of the Global Health Alliance Foundation. Dr. Farah, thank you so much for joining us this evening. There seems to be kind of an endless stream of studies showing this time change could be bad for our health. As a medical professional and a cardiologist, do you agree with that sentiment and these findings?
Oh, well, it's a matter of 1 hour change. Certainly it does disrupt sleep for those folks who are very sensitive to their circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is what determines our biological clock. So yes, studies have shown that it can cause disruption. And as you know, American Heart Association has added sleep as one of the new risk factors for heart disease. So for those who can't sleep very well and an hour can disrupt their sleep, can have some effects to their health, of course. My advice to them would be to add it gradually, maybe in 15 to 20 minutes increments, sleep a little early or a little late so that your circadian rhythm is not disrupted as much.
Well, why is daylight saving bad for our health? What specifically does it potentially do to us?
Again, it goes back to that circadian rhythm. It's very similar to when we travel. For example, when we go to another country, our sleep pattern gets thrown off. And while it doesn't affect that 1 hour, doesn't affect a lot of people, but it can for some people who have sleep disturbance already, people who have sleep apnea or other types of sleep disorders, then 1 hour that they have to adjust can really throw them off. And it's not so much of a problem during the fall season when we gain the hour. It really becomes an issue more during the spring when we lose that 1 hour. So yeah, it's a disruption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is kind of the good side of it that we're getting right now. If there is so much proof, though, that daylight saving time is harmful to us or potentially harmful, why do we keep changing the clocks? So what do people actually get out of it?
That's a very good question. I think maybe some people think it has to do with efficiency, but in all honesty, I don't know that it adds to efficiency. And I agree that if it wasn't there, that sleep disruption, that anxiety, the stress that affiliated with it wouldn't be affecting so many people. I know that there are some studies that have shown, the number of car accidents go up the next morning. Same thing with heart attack. There is some effect on that. Some studies have shown that. Now, in the big scheme of things, whether this 1 hour truly makes a huge difference in our health, that is still questionable. I don't know that in the big scheme of things, it really truly affects our health that much, particularly our cardiovascular health. That being said, I again urge people to gradually incorporate this change so that they're not affected as much.
Yeah, and to really consistently try to get good sleep, right? It's long been argued that daylight saving cuts energy costs, but most of those studies are a century old or more, and recent studies have actually showed increased energy costs, especially in the southern U.S. So I guess the argument is really, kind of moot at this point.
Yes. When it comes to health, again, it's a matter of 1 hour. Whether it truly causes a huge impact in the big scheme of things, that is questionable. But in the short spectrum, yes, it can disrupt your sleep until your circadian rhythm gets used to it. And the way to go about it would be to gradually incorporate that change.
I guess just using, as you mentioned, a gradual integration, but what's the takeaway here in terms of sleep in general when it comes to your heart health? How could it potentially affect you? Lack of or too much?
Yes, sleep is actually very important. We recommend anywhere between 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. As I mentioned, American Heart Association has said sleep actually is now a risk factor, just like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes. Not getting adequate sleep or, like solid sleep through the night can impact your health. When we don't get adequate sleep, our anxiety level, our stress level is really, it's high, and it can affect all the other risk factors. When we don't sleep well, for those who have sleep apnea, they can have high blood pressure, and that is one of the major risk factors for heart disease. So it really affects all aspects of life. It affects your weight gain versus weight loss, like how successful you'll be in your daily routine, your stamina to exercise. So it really affects a lot of things, a lot more than what we know. So yes, it certainly affects your overall health and definitely your heart health. It does increase the risk of heart attack, stroke, arrhythmia, all types of cardiovascular issues can occur as a result of lack of sleep.
Yeah, so regardless of this 1 hour change, be sure to get consistent sleep, right? Dr. Fahmi Farah, invasive cardiologist and CEO of Bentley Heart, thank you so much for weighing in on this and being with us tonight. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.